And welcome back, everybody. We are back for a supersized CBC podcast. This might actually be kind of ironic because this would technically date this as an anniversary podcast of the first ever CBC podcast that launched. So,
wow.
It's kind of a little extra supersized here. It's going to be a good show because for the first time ever, believe it or not, the wrestling fans on the podcast outweigh the non-wrestling fans. I have to just mute Mitch and talk wrestling.
If I say remove from stage, that's going to kick me out entirely.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's going to be good. Trust me. As always, before we get to the show, let's just get a couple things out of the way. As always, 2 members topics. We're going to talk about Fantastic Four overperforming, and it looks like the box office might as well. And Superman is betting big on box office because the budget of the film was revealed, and a new in-depth report on breaking even. It's got to get pretty high, so we'll cover that for members. For today's show, we're going to talk about Doctor Doom. We're going to talk about DC Studios having some problems, and Marvel skipping out on San Diego Comic-Con. All that in the main show. Again, let me address the whole ads issue. YouTube is going wild with ads. If you watched the podcast last week, within the first 3 hours, you might have got like 30 ads. I cut that down to like 5, which were the mandatory ones that they put in there. But again, it might happen. It might not. You never know. So I'm trying to manually go in there and get rid of a lot of them, but they take pending time. So it's a whole thing. And as always, if you just want it without any ads or anything, including all the uncensored stuff, that's all for members. So it's like, I don't know, $3 a month or whatever the membership is. Just check it out. Either way, though, we'll keep doing the podcast. So don't worry. So without further ado, let's just start getting into this. So first introducing right over here to my left is Jared.
Hello. I keep accidentally ending up on the show during big milestone episodes, and I'm very grateful for that.
You got a countdown.
I know. I got 700, and now I have the anniversary of the very first show, which I'm very honored to be here.
700 and 705. That's impressive.
Has it only been 5 weeks?
Yeah. Well, we probably skipped a week in there somewhere, right? We always do. I would assume.
I can't remember yesterday. No.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you guys all know where Jared comes from, the Nerd Academy podcast. Make sure you check that out. It also pops up on the community tab, and that's now actually working flawlessly. So you'll see more videos pop up from everybody here, which is good. Also, Tristan is here.
Yeah, I wasn't here last week. Had a little familial emergency, but
oh no.
Yes, was, but it said it was, but it wasn't actually in the grand scheme of things. Still working on some videos, getting them probably gonna come out next week. They're pretty long, but look forward to that. Anything else, you can go down low into the link tree for everything I have going.
That's perfect. I'm just gonna have to add Jared permanently to the description. Just add his link tree down there. Jared, send me a link tree with all your links, okay?
Yes, sir. I would say real quick, as a side note, with regards to videos, Mitch and I are working on something really cool for the Nerd Academy channel. The first Nerd Academy video essay should hopefully be out before the end of the summer, and it's a doozy, and it is deeply, deeply me coded. So stay tuned for that.
And if he keeps adding to it, it won't be the end of the summer. So fair warning.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to that.
Is it going to be like one of those 5 to 10 hour essays?
No.
He's currently aiming for at like 45 minutes right now.
Oh, okay.
No.
Y'all can tell me once we're done this, so it's not spoiled for anybody. So that'll be a.
I think I mentioned it on air, but I have, but the details will take me forever to explain. So that's
all right. Perfect. Also joining us is Ricardo.
Yeah, I'm an AEW fan now. Double or Nothing, Hangman, Osprey. I know all of them now. Long time fan now, forever.
Forever.
What else? I guess the Carter 6 dropped.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did it, but you did it.
For music fans out there, Carter 6 drop. Me and Disney still kissing. I guess that's pretty much it.
But that's a fair assessment of the current situation, I guess. And also we are joined, as always, by Mitch.
Hi, Mitch 692 channel. Me and Jared have been doing a lot of stuff this week. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a weekend away from his face.
I don't blame him. I recently came into a lot of time during the day, and Mitch and I think have cranked out like what, a half a season of Pro and Noob in 3 days.
Pretty much,
time.
Yeah. Not even 3
God.
4. We started Monday. We had to stop. Came back Tuesday. Did Wednesday. Did Thursday. And if it wasn't for this, I'm pretty certain we'd probably have done another one.
Right now, Jared's seen Mitch more than his own girlfriend, and that's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should
today. Wait, what anime you watching?
Happy Pride. You're watching Dan to Dan.
Peak. Peak. You should watch Samurai Champloo.
I've never seen that.
It's pretty good.
I know it's bad. I'm going through a ton of stuff at the minute anyway, so I'll probably add it to the list.
I can tell you this. Mitch has not missed with anime on Pro and Noob, at the very least in terms of introductory music. Like the legendary run he's on of Neon Genesis Evangelion with Cruel Angel Thesis, Cowboy Bebop with Tank, and now the Dan to Dan theme, which, as I've said 1,000 times now, has crack in it. There's a crack inside of that music, and I can't put it down.
I need to know, Mitch, have you ever watched Fooly Cooley, the original one?
I might have done. I can't remember.
Oh, man.
It sounds familiar.
Jared, if you ever get the chance, Adult Swim, like the first series, Fooly Cooley. If you love music and anime, classic. If you love Cowboy Bebop music, you're gonna like Fooly Cooley. It's at least like 6 episodes.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's that good.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'll add that to my list as well. I'm slowly making my way through stuff.
Yeah, Army's coming out the week.
What a weeb, bro. Go to Japan one time, don't know how to act.
Dude, it was a conversion, man. I can't explain it. Like exiting Japan, I was like, I guess this is it now. This is my life now.
The first thing you said when you came back to Vermont is there sushi. Like, come on, bro.
He's Naruto running on the treadmill at gym.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's that nerd already with his backpack decked out with Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and stuff. Now he's got a Naruto headband. I should do that, though. I should. I've never seen Naruto, but I'll wear the headband. Oh, man. That's how it goes. Well, I suppose
honestly.
That's true. I suppose we're just going to get into the show, everybody. We've wasted enough of your time, so let's get into the first topic. So this week, it was very interesting because Matt Shakman, the director of Fantastic Four First Steps, was point blank asked, hey, there's a lot of rumors out there, speculation. There's even reports from test screenings. Dr. Doom is in Fantastic Four First Steps. And he just goes, no, he's not. I can assure you he's not in the film. We're saving that for Doomsday. And it's like, oh, okay.
He's not in the movie because it's Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark again, who's going to become Dr. Doom.
Or he's the post-credit scene, and technically that's not the movie.
Nah, that's still the movie.
You think?
I understand.
What if he just means Victor Von Doom is in the movie, just not Dr. Doom?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he's reaching. Come on.
No, I'm sorry. I've been saying this for a while. I don't think especially because we know it's Downey. I don't think he's in the movie. I truly don't.
The budget is probably too high. I'm not gonna lie. If he was in the movie, I think that's a lot of money.
I just don't. As I've said 1,000 times before, I don't think it's Victor Von Doom. There's no real reason to if they're going the route I think they're going. There is no reason. It's insane a sentence as this is to say. If they're going the route I think they're going, there's no reason for Dr. Doom to be in this Fantastic Four movie. Yeah. Because again, it's an evil Tony that's taken the name. I'm not gonna let off of that read, no pun intended, READ, and I'm not gonna let go of that theory until I am fully proven wrong. at most, I think post-credit scene, and I understand that mentality of like he's not in like the meat of the movie, like the core meal that is the movie. He is not a part of. He might be in the dessert in the post-credits, but he is not like a part of the film itself in terms of like the story it's telling on its own. So I feel incredibly vindicated by this, presuming that Shackman's telling the truth.
I also feel like he hasn't shot anything with him. It's going to be the Russos.
I
know there's none in his movie, but the Russos are doing what they did with Thunderbolts again, and it's going to be a post-credit scene.
I was thinking that it makes the most sense too.
I think you're both kind of right. Like, I mean, you kind of, it feels weird because everybody's like, you kind of need Doctor Doom, and I'm like, kind of like, there's so little buildup. You think you would, but at the same time, it's not really that important. Like, it's hard to explain how they're going about this.
It's not important to Fantastic Four for Doom to be in there straight away. Doom just needs to be in something before.
Yeah, because you'd think that he would be very important to the movie because they're integral into each other. But from what you hear from Fantastic Four, they're like a couple years into what they're doing, so you wouldn't really need Doom in the movie itself primarily.
Right.
Yeah, I think I brought this up before, like in like the group chat. I was like, because I used to think like, man, we had like Thanos. We always need like something built up in the Avengers, and then I thought about like Age of Ultron. I was like, you know what? They didn't really, other than like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I was like, oh, we didn't really build up to Ultron. We just had it, and I loved that movie. So
and
that's still my favorite Avengers. So
practically zero buildup for Wanda and Pietro anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a post-credit scene, and that's the thing. I think that the Russos are playing with expectations very cleverly. I think that they are aware of the fact that a lot of people are skeptical about Robert Downey Jr. And I think that they're playing it close to the vest by going, we are not going to show our hand even a little bit until it is opening night. Like it is like, we will obviously trailers and whatnot, but like, I think they are aware of the fact that this is going to work best by just putting it all in their film. And I was hoping that Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't appear as Doom in Fantastic Four First Steps. A, because I want to be right. B, because again, I think that like he is the villain of this Doomsday two-parter, Secret Wars, whatever. And I think that similar to Infinity War, I do think he's going to end up being the point of view character, and I think that's even more earned because it's a Tony Stark. Like I think everything Shackman's saying about Doom, like I said, I feel like I knew this in my bones before he said it.
We also have that weird tease from Feige that the ship in Thunderbolts isn't the Fantastic Fours.
Yeah, see.
I thought you said like it is the Fantastic Fours, but it's not necessarily the Fantastic Four on that ship.
Yeah. But he did say like their ship's the Excelsior. I don't know if this one's the same one.
I mean,
it's a very weird thing to say.
If you watch the Fantastic Four trailer, when you see the Excelsior from them launching, and you look at the ship from the end of Thunderbolts, they're completely different. It's like a remodeled version of the Excelsior. Like it has the same basic look, but it's more it's to use nerd terminology. It's like when they went from the Enterprise A to the B. It's just like you kind of got to look at it. You're like, oh, look, Star Trek changed a thing on that ship. Like it's small, minor changes, which again, I'm okay with Doctor Doom not being in this at all because whatever. Like I think they can establish who he is properly in Doomsday, and now with the knowledge that they have an extra 7 months to work on the film, I trust it, and I think that they didn't want to rush it either. Like, it just feels like they understand that let's get something out right without rushing things, because in the last couple phases, there's been a lot of stuff that kind of just felt forced here or there for the sake of getting to the next thing. And you're like, it didn't really need that. So it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I know some people will be pissed. It's the same people that were like, Doctor Doom is in Wakanda forever, and if he is 10 out of 10, and then he's not, they're like 5 out of 10. You're like, well, you're an idiot, so okay, but.
And then I like to assume we also have to look at it at a casual perspective, because we could always go back to the casual side. Not the casual's not gonna always watch what we do, watching the spin-offs and stuff. You think they care? The casual's gonna appear for Avengers movie. Like, I know we already, like, that the topic we're gonna talk about later with the F4. The fact that F4 is making this much money and just in ticket sales alone, pretty sure they didn't watch everything that has happened in the previous phase. Who watched Secret Invasion? The strongest scroll thing in there.
Unfortunately, I did. I was one of the ones.
Unfortunately, everybody on this screen made that.
Imagine watching Secret Invasion. Couldn't be me.
Like
Mitch deleted his memories of it. Just give himself a lobotomy after, just to make sure.
So yeah, so regarding the casuals, I feel like with or without Doctor Doom being in any other projects, I feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just the execution. The execution has to be really good.
So I know, like, what you just said, people don't buy, but like, I just saw another film with one of my friends who goes to all the Marvel and DC premieres, right? And he was asking me, he was like, "Oh, so Spider-Man 4, what do you think is going to happen?" And I was like, "Well, my hope is," and I was just like, "I hope that Wilson Fisk truly like hires somebody as like a vigilante task force, and maybe we could get a Daredevil crossover." And he was like, "Why would Daredevil be in this?" And I was like, "Because Daredevil Born Again." And he was like, "Oh, I haven't watched Daredevil since season 1. I didn't even think that was in the MCU." And this is the core guy that goes to all the premieres, and you'll ask him, being like, "Hey, what's the first time they mentioned the Tesseract?" And he'll just be like he knows everything about the movies. TV shows, like most people, not aware of it. And as we talked about, Daredevil, that didn't even chart. So, like, yeah, it's with Fantastic Four, I think they're doing the right thing here, because Doomsday's probably going to make 2.5 billion easily. If Fantastic Four hits 700 million, they'll be lucky. So the amount of people that you'll need to watch Fantastic Four to understand all Doctor Doom stuff, if he's in it, to this, it's going to be like a 75% audience that's missing. I think they're playing this right. Just,
I find it fascinating. You think Doomsday's going to make that much?
You don't think it is?
No.
I mean, if No Way Home can make 2 billion.
Yeah, but No Way Home was 5. It would be 6 years ago.
It'll be all the Robert Downey Jr. fanboys that make up the money.
You also got to think of like all the big films that has released in December. They made like Avatar. Who watched Avatar and it still made like almost 3 billion? That's impossible. You think Doomsday is gonna make? I don't care.
No one's watching just Avatar. Sat there and let their eyes glaze over. So
that's it.
That is it.
Yeah, Armin and Scotty J-Ro are the only people I know.
Scotty's gone down in my ranking.
Avatar, I know. I mean, but no, you are right, and I keep forgetting about that holiday release date now. Like, that's that Star Wars sequel trilogy slot.
Exactly. And Star Wars, Avatar, Spider-Man. The fact that Spider-Man, the third movie, made almost broke a record was literally insane.
Yeah.
I just think we're falling into the trap that people had with Age of Ultron, where everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to make way more because it's the second Avengers movie." So I think you're going to get
that was a summer movie.
Yeah, but I still think you're going to get that drop. Like the reception around Marvel at the minute with everything, like, sure,
yeah,
people Marvel like Rivals is carrying Marvel right now.
There is, but there's no Gooner stuff in Doomsday.
Oh my God, Doomsday is going to be
a tank.
Gooner poster.
Where's my partnership? Sorry, go ahead.
Like Emma Frost is not in Doomsday, so.
See, that's the thing. They're gonna add one multiverse scene where they just stop into the Rivals universe, and it's Emma Frost and Sue Storm standing there like slapping somebody, and we're all like, "I gotta see this now."
You ever see
just RGJ announcing the date of his new skin? Like, January 5th, wear me.
I don't know, man. I've never been one for box office tracking just because like I don't have the brain for it to like compare the numbers and stuff. That's not a talent I have. But like that holiday release slot, you got so many people who are like seeing each other and like, the only times they see each other around this time of year. It's going to be a big event movie. I was going to say it's going to be the only big game in town, but they share a date with Dune Messiah. We'll see if that changes.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know,
right.
I think Dune is going to be like kind of a motivating force here.
If you want proof that it might be, The Rise of Skywalker made $1 billion.
Yeah.
If you want proof. Like, and a lot of people were like, nope, not going to see that because of The Last Jedi, and still made $1 billion. So
oh sure. I'm just saying,
didn't
like,
he make
Rise of
less
Skywalker.
than The Last Jedi, though?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But the question is, who you think Warner Brothers is going to sacrifice Dune's IMAX screening for Avengers?
I think they keep it there, and you have Doomsday be the new Barbenheimer.
I think it's a horrible idea.
It's a horrible. I don't like forcing it, but at the same time,
oh yeah, your Doomsday. Did you copyright it yet?
No, I didn't. It was too late.
But like Ricardo said,
I couldn't copyright it.
Like Ricardo said, though, like the IMAX screens, everyone's going to be clamoring for them. That's going to be an issue. I think. I hope Dune gets moved because I don't want those movies to strangle each other. It's the same thing. Like I was doing a happy dance. Sorry.
Dune is going to jump to Thanksgiving a month before.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
I love Dune as a fall movie anyway.
Yeah. It's. I mean, Dune. WB has rare hits, and Dune is one of them. They'd be stupid to go up against Marvel Studios with one of 3 guaranteed hits in their like stable of all their franchises. You know, and like, I think that they're bumping that and. We'll see how it goes. So, any closing thoughts on Doom, Fantastic Four, and Doomsday?
I think Doomsday will make $1 billion, just not 2.5.
He's making $3 billion.
No,
I think that's Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars has got 3B all over it.
whichever film has Tobey Maguire is making $3 billion.
What if he's not in either of them?
Good.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I don't think Tobey Maguire is bringing in $3 billion.
That's when you get right. Go Andrew Garfield.
Look at this. Can't believe it.
I mean, if it comes down to it, I will take Andrew Petefield. Like it's Andrew over Toby. I'm sorry. That's the better one.
Andrew over Toby and Yuri over all of them.
There we go.
You've also got to remember that the girls are currently fighting. So, are you not going to make it to Doomsday?
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Oh! I didn't realize
the girls are currently fighting. Are you going to make it?
I thought you were calling us the girls because I said Toby Maguire.
I mean, you are.
I thought you meant. I didn't realize you meant
he's talking about the Twitter spat.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
you know
you
what?
For explaining it. I hate you.
I was going to say, speaking of having to explain things, let's explain to people why DC Studios is having some internal problems because
David Zaslav.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 2 words. It's Dave Zaslav.
Dave. Get him out of here.
It's Dave, man. So over the course of the last 3 months, DC Studios went from hey guys, everything's happening the way we said, and don't worry, to well, some projects aren't happening. Okay, some projects are definitely not happening and we have to rework a bunch, to everything is now on the shoulders of Superman and HBO also. It's been very apparent, and in their wording, they don't want to become the superhero station. So reportedly, they're looking for maybe 1 DC show a year tops. So all the lineup that James Gunn put out there, you ain't seen that if you're getting sequels to, like, you know, a Peacemaker season 3 or a Green Lantern.
Welcome back, CW? Question mark.
That's what I was thinking. They're going to start licensing stuff out, aren't they? Like, you kind of have to.
They already gave it to. I mean, with how they've been going about with Amazon Prime, and I wouldn't be surprised. They already done that.
Yeah.
Time will tell. I like, these are one of those things where it's like I'm just waiting to see how it goes. We've all been so burned by lofty DC slates. You know, I trust in James Gunn as a leader and as a creative. Unfortunately, he is a leader, answers to one of the biggest hack, fraud, anti-art huckster carnies in Hollywood right now. So
don't forget, like, David Zaslav's one of his best friends is former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick. And together,
nice.
And together, they have a group of a couple other friends, and they call themselves the Schmoozers.
What?
That sounds very familiar.
This is a real thing with a couple billionaires. They literally said they like to schmooze the industry for all it's worth and get paid, and it shows.
This is the C-suit equivalent of Snyder and Michael Bay going to the same film school.
Yeah.
But isn't this like the 5th or 6th time that the slate has been like just like burned at this point?
People forget this, but the DCEU, when they announced the slate at San Diego Comic-Con with Batman v Superman being announced, right? They re-announced the slate like 3 years later, and then again in like 2020. They reshuffled the DCEU slate countless times, and this is also happening with the DCU now, and the problems are very apparent with that company. WB can't spend $1 billion a year, producing DC content only, because they got other properties for what that's worth.
The other properties is just David Zaslav, because that's where the budget is going.
Yeah. True.
Well, at least they've saved like what, 54 million this year by not paying Zaslav his bonus.
Amazing.
That's something.
There's only a certain amount of time to the shareholders be like, you know what, it's time for you to go.
I can't believe it's not now, to be honest. Like,
I'm surprised.
How do you not pay the man his bonus and still keep him? Like, get rid of him.
Yeah, he gotta go, bro.
Yeah. I mean, with the way that Disney has just been just making a fool of themselves left, right, and center, not just in terms of like what they're putting out, like in terms of, like the very negative reception to the Lilo and Stitch remake, the weird situation with the Snow White remake, which has a lot to do with Phantom Menace stuff, but still, like between that, the way that Zaslav has been bending the knee to the Trump administration with a lot of the ABC stuff, like the fact that like Disney has had so much pie on their face this year, and how much of a target they already are as a company by the internet for good or ill, or ill. The fact that David Zaslav continues to maintain that Warner Brothers is the worst game in town, like that's a feat. That is a feat. It's you have to, the bar is on the floor to sink to the level of Warner Brothers right now, and they just have so much bad PR, and it's so much because of him.
Like, think of the fact that they're having issues putting out Batman content. Like, you are having issues putting out content based on the only character that's ever been consistently reliable, whether it's toys, video games, TV, movies. Batman conquers all the check marks they need, and somehow they can't get anything Batman off the ground. They spent a decade making non-Batman Batman games, whatever that's worth. Action figures are at an all-time low. Batman comic sales aren't even as as high as they used to be. Like, how has Batman been brought down so hard by this?
Well, if you put this in perspective, even for like the gaming market, Marvel has a successful hero shooter, and it looks like they're gonna have a successful fighting game, which DC hasn't, because like the last game they had was like Injustice 2, and that was a boo-boo. So.
And their last two video games were what?
Okay. It's not boo-boo. It's not boo-boo.
Their last
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Justice bad.
They had on Mortal Kombat, but that's also another Warner Brothers thing, because ever since WB Games' whole model of live service being in every game known to man and blah blah blah, like that's why a lot of their games is like dead on arrival. They don't even care anymore.
And look at what happened with Mortal Kombat. They systematically killed that. Mortal Kombat 1 killed the MK series because they focused on how about microtransactions everywhere in this competent fighter. And then their idea was, hey, a lot of fighters people want. What if they're just cameos? It's like,
Wonder Woman live action service canceled. The Suicide Squad. The moment the live service showed on the Suicide Squad game, it was dead on arrival, because everybody was like, "Why you got to pay for the Suicide Squad?" Like it's ridiculous.
Even like the Wonder Woman video game, which was going to have an evolution of the Nemesis system, canceled after 2 times of trying.
Yeah. And don't forget, they've canceled 3 different sequels to Arkham Knight. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, like, this company is having a lot of problems. It's evident. DC Studios is taking a lot of the hit from it, which again does make sense, and it's unfortunate, but something's going to have to happen with this company sooner rather than later to fix things up.
I think the only kind of W that they got was their mobile game for the DC mobile game. I think that came out. It's like really
that AI tower defense one.
Yeah.
Is that a W? I'm
Yes.
gonna say it's a W. Really?
Well, for them anyway.
I mean, they're making at least money off of it.
Yeah, because I keep seeing those stupid ads on YouTube.
Yep.
Every other time.
Okay, so
is that the weird one where it's like Batman doing like the with Joker trying to hammer? Is it?
Yeah.
Man, real quick. Just I'm sorry. Just like I said earlier, with like again like stuff that Warner Brothers is allowed to do that Disney would never get away with. There would be riots in the street if a Marvel game had an ad like that. There would be riots in the street if a Star Wars game had an ad like that.
Remember the Star Wars dancing game? That's before the internet got super toxic.
No,
like
that was Star Wars Connect, and that was one of many modes.
So if that happened today, Disney would be strung up for the rest of eternity.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah, because people would have to buy a Connect.
Ooh,
not because it's a dancing game. Because you have to buy a Connect. That's why.
First of all, I had a Connect. Second of all, I loved not just Dance Central. Okay, Dance Central.
I had a Connect as well, but we got it for the
PlayStation iToy was a superior version.
It was. You could play the Dragon game, Eye of the Dragon or whatever it was. That was great.
This was that ninja one. You had to like chop the ninjas.
Oh yeah. Good times. So, all right, looking at WB, they're gonna keep having issues, but it is a thing that's gonna keep on happening. Hopefully they figure things out. Hopefully Superman is a hit, which we'll obviously talk about once the film is out. And
but can we just sell DC off to like Paramount or Universal at this point?
Oh, we wish. Paramount's gonna need it since Mission Impossible is now a dead franchise.
Yeah,
they're gonna need another franchise.
I honestly I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like one day I think Amazon will acquire DC Studios the same way they acquired MGM.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like I feel like it's a given. And like I said, if you look at how Amazon has been, if a lot of Warner Brother content is on Amazon, a lot of it.
I mean, there's a
lot of Sony stuff as well.
Yeah.
Man. Sony needs all the help it could get.
That's true. That is true. Well, speaking of getting all the help you can get, let's jump into our final topic because Marvel Studios might be needing help because they've decided to skip San Diego Comic-Con, no Hall H panel. Now, I saw some people being like, they got tons of content. Ain't no Wonder Man gonna be there for Hall H. Get out of here. Wonder Man for Hall H.
Non-believer. Is that
Wonder Man is gonna be peak. That's gonna be peak.
It might be, but no. You know who's gonna watch it? The people here, and that's it. That's it. That's the audience.
That's more people than what they watch Kaiser. Like, let's be real.
Boo! That's true though. But boo!
I mean, do I think Wonder Man itself could hold Hall H? Not necessarily, but I do think they have enough coming out that they could have had a Hall H for all of it. You know,
I was gonna say it's not the first time they come to like Comic-Con not announced anything. It's all here's like a PNG and a little bit of the movie.
Right.
But isn't the last time they came to Hall H? Like, man, bro, we still didn't get Blade. Where's Blade? Like, there's like so many things.
Could you imagine like that's the panel? Feige just walks out on stage, pulls out a shotgun, and shoots the Blade logo. He's like, there we go. Put it behind a shed now.
At least everyone would know.
I thought you were going to go with he's going to shotgun one Blade fan in the audience.
Feige takes off his hat. You see his hair. He was like, I'm serious now. No Blade. I'm like, what?
Some Marvel fans are always trying to ice skate uphill. But no, I mean, I feel like it's disappointing, especially because, you know, they brought the house down last year with Hall H.
Oh God, yeah.
Like last year, that was the, again, I hate the Marvel's back, Marvel's dead of it all. I've talked about it ad nauseum here and on Nerd Academy. But like that, I think was the moment where Marvel themselves themselves were like, "Oh, y'all thought we were done?"
Yeah.
Oh, kiddo. And just like, fully just put it on the table, and did the damn thing. I think it's crazy to not come back and do that here. I think it's crazy to not give people at least something for Doomsday, something, because they are on the precipice of Fantastic Four, and using that time where all eyes are on them for Doomsday and Fantastic Four.
See,
to then go, hey, here's some Ironheart punch up, because that either just came out or is still coming out. And hey, Wonder Man. And hey, this thing. Now is the time to do that. And I don't know. Maybe it's Jared, because they are really playing it that like close to the vest with Doomsday.
I'm literally right there with you. Like, Fantastic Four releases that weekend. You should have had a Fantastic Four panel, bring the cast there, talk about how the film is now in theaters to generate more hype, because San Diego Comic-Con is covered by normal news outlets.
They did that for Deadpool too, actually, right? They did that for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. So, like, do that here. Give 45 minutes to Fantastic Four, and then you got 15 minutes left. You go, hey, guys, we got a couple other projects coming out. Quick look at Marvel Zombies. Here's Wonder Man. Hey, Daredevil Season 2 is going good. Check out our first poster. Hey, we know we don't have anything for Avengers Doomsday. It's been delayed. But here's a special message from somebody on the cast. Robert Downey Jr. Hey, guys, we're producing the movie. It's going to be great. Done.
Let that be the first time we see what Doom's going to look like. Let that be the first time we see any type of look for Doom. Like, I just, it's maddening, and I just like wish we get a little bit more.
And remember, every San Diego Comic-Con, it doesn't matter what happens. Half of the videos you're going to see on every channel is Marvel Studios lost or DC wins, because Marvel didn't show up, or they show up and they don't do what DC does. And like this year, the door is open for DC, but they confirmed all they're bringing is Peacemaker. So Delton and Nick are going to be happy. Great.
So by default, Marvel still wins. No.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
And not even there. No.
I don't know. Like, this whole skipping Hall H, it's not smart. Like,
so do you not think it's part of the reason why Fantastic Four is selling as much as it is? It's the most pre-ordered movie now of the year.
Yeah.
Ticket of the year.
It might be. Maybe. I mean,
I wonder if they actually were at Hall H. If obviously people would have been at Comic-Con. They're going to be at Comic-Con anyway.
Yeah.
Feige could have at least like, look, we already know we're gonna see the X-Men suits in Doomsday. He could have at least show like the Cyclops costume. Like, he could give like
he's gonna bring the Cyclops and Wolverine costumes on stage right there.
Well, I mean, like, look, X-Men.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think back to when The Force Awakens was coming out, and all of like whenever Lucasfilm was still doing the Force for Change charity stuff, and how every so often there would be a video from J.J. Abrams on the set, and he would be doing like a little like stand-up piece for Force for Change, and like, every single Star Wars fan didn't give a damn about the charity, but they were like, "Oh my God, what's going on here? What's going on here?"
Yeah,
because he's standing on the set for Dakar, and you have this like blue new model of an X-wing, and there's a droid. Here's an Abednetto. It's the first time we see an Abednetto, and like all of this stuff. Oh, he's on Jakku, and like, oh, look at all these aliens and stuff. Like, this would be the perfect time to do something like that for Hall H, where it's like, like you said, Armin, we don't have anything to show you guys currently, because we're still working on the movie. We're really excited, but here's a special message for you guys from the cast of Avengers Doomsday, and literally let that be anybody who was wearing a mostly practical outfit. For all we know, is nobody. But like, find a way to like CGI the tights on the Cyclops, but that like have everybody just standing together, and let that be this kind of like super understated reveal.
And that's something like I wanted to look at. I'm like, is it just my memory clouding it, or has Marvel Studios changed at San Diego Comic-Con? So I went and watched highlights of the first couple panels from like 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. After Avengers, Marvel Studios presentation at San Diego Comic-Con changed, where they come in, they're the big guy, and they can show you nothing and sit there for an hour, and the fans are going to clap. Before that, you watch like when they were talking about, hey, Thor and Captain America are coming out. you have just humble people on stage being like, so Captain America's history is great. We hope you guys understand who this character is. Here's some concept art. Check out these great comics we're using as an inspiration. That is what got me so excited back in the day. Now, their presentations are just corporate. It's just corporate. There's none of that.
I think the last time they showed actual concept art was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, with the scrolls.
That was that's the first time we saw a suit.
Yeah, it's wild how much they've changed, and I miss the old Marvel and how they used to go to San Diego, even when they had nothing. Like there was a year where only Marvel TV went, and I looked at the reports from that San Diego Comic-Con. All the websites are like Marvel TV destroyed the competition, and you look at it, they're like they brought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and like 3 other spin-offs and the Netflix shows. You're like, bro, Marvel TV was killing it. Like, yeah, it's changed. It's been a while, and I don't know. I'm hoping that this is a good choice to skip it. We know the optics on nerd sites are going to be awful, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be drivel, and it's always the worst. But it's moments like this where Marvel has an opportunity to get ahead of that and undo the unjustified nonsense, and they're not, and I don't know. I feel like they're leaving money on the table here.
I suppose we're gonna know soon enough. So I don't know. Stay tuned. A couple weeks till San Diego. We'll see what happens with Marvel and DC there, because Marvel's gonna have a presence. But
yeah, just comics and games.
Yeah, and honestly, fine. It is what it is, I guess. For the people that are there for those, they'll get that. So I suppose that has brought us to the end of the show. As always, we are doing 2 members topics for you guys, so make sure you tune in for those, because talking about some big stuff, which Minch hinted at just earlier. Fantastic Four is going to be our first topic for members, so hopefully we see you guys there. Make sure you go follow Jared, check out Ricardo, Tristan, Mitch. We're all online, and watch for the community tab to see videos from all of them pop up soon. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.